looks like it's time to build a website. Let's jump in and find out how. Hi everyone, my name's Steph, and in this episode we'll be looking at how to build your own website. So building your own website is pretty critical to set yourself up as a professional in your space and show people that you're serious about what you do. In the last episode, I spoke about the lean startup methodology and how important it is to make sure that you test your ideas before you go and try them out full time. Building a website is super important to make sure that you get this right the first time. But do you need to hire a web developer for your website? Is it going to be tricky? Is it going to be expensive? Can you do it yourself? We'll take a closer look at all those questions in this episode, where I'll talk through a whole range of different options for you to set up your own website. So let's jump over to the computer and have a closer look. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the different options we have out there for setting up a website. Now, you've probably seen some of the classics. You've got Squarespace, you've got Wix, you've got Weebly, you've got Jimdo. There's a whole bunch of these easy to use website builders that are out there to get you started. And you can sort of see, like, generally you can pick through a whole range of different templates, and they usually get you started on some kind of a 30-day free trial of some kind to get you in. So the main players in this space are Squarespace, Wix here as well, same kind of thing, Weebly as well, and also Jimdo. And when you're looking at these, they're a great option if you aren't as tech savvy as you'd like to be. So they're a very easy to use plug and play type solution for a website builder. So each one of these website builders will try and get you in for some kind of a subscription-based service. And you can sort of dig a bit deeper and have a look at the updated prices, which may have changed since this video was made. But you're looking at around, about, between 100 and 200, 300 bucks a year for putting together your website. And these prices are all at the most budget level on their price scales. So there's always more options, more add-ons, and more things that you can be buying. And in my opinion, these websites are great to start you off with a smoke test. So a smoke test sort of comes back to some of those lean startup methodologies we were looking at in the last video, which if you haven't already seen, go and check it out. But essentially what it means anyway, is that you can go and launch the concept of your website and just have it as a splash page that says, okay, would you like to pre-order this particular service? If you click here now, you can get a discount by using this discount code when our product launches. Or you could say, okay, this is a pre-sale. Express your interest here to receive more information, or put down a down payment of some kind. So that means if you can get that website in front of the audience that you're trying to target, it's bait, and you can see whether they will take the bait, and you see whether you get any details from people, whether there's any interest straight away without you spending any money on building your own website, which you're not quite sure is going to work or could potentially be a bit of a waste of your time if the market doesn't like your particular product. And so this idea anyway comes back to the minimum viable product idea. So what is the most minimum way that you can be testing your idea? You don't want to start building a car by building all the wheels first. The idea is that a car is just to get from A to B. You can start by building a skateboard, which is a lot easier and does the same kind of job and still works, which is what we're after here. So the next best way to set up a website is through WordPress. So this is my blogging website here. It's piper3dp.com if you'd like to go and check it out. And this is a website that I have built myself through WordPress. So what you can do with a WordPress website anyway is you can go and buy your own domain name, purchase your own server hosting, and then load up WordPress as a back-end manager for your website. So to get started with building your own professional website that has its own domain name, I usually start with crazydomains.com.au. I like this one because it's Australian, and I know that when I need some help, I can always call up and get help from someone here, which is pretty great. But there's lots and lots of different options out there for choosing your own domain name. So we can go ahead and we can search and see if our domain name is available. So let's jump in and see if Steph's blog is available. Okay, so our domain's available, and you can sort of see what prices we're looking at here for domain names. So for a year, which is what we'll do, just so you can see what the minimum based cost is of setting up a website, you're looking at $21.99. But of course, the more years you purchase, the cheaper it'll get as a bulk buy. So we can go ahead and go add to cart. And now that we've got our domain name, we also need to purchase server hosting. So a server is like a computer that always stays on up in the cloud. And so for someone to be able to visit your website, it needs to be kept on by a computer. So the computer is always hosting that website, and it's a place where your browser connects to for you to see that website. And if that server goes down, you can't see your website anymore. Some people like to do their own server hosting if you have your own server gear at home, but it tends to be a lot more technical, and generally it chews up a lot of electricity as well. So it might be a great way to keep your house warm in winter. But generally people just go and buy their own server hosting on here. So we'll go continue shopping, and we'll have a look at hosting as well. So I usually generally go with Linux economy hosting here, which is one of your cheaper options. Don't worry about clicking on personal email or any of this kind of stuff here. They're all just add-ons that this will come with automatically as well. So we can go add to cart, and here we go. So we're looking at around $116 to get started with your own WordPress website with your own domain name and your own server hosting. So I suppose the benefit of doing it this way is it means that in comparison to Wix and to Weebly and to Squarespace and all those sort of ones, you're going to be paying about half the cost roughly per year by doing it yourself. Okay, so I've just jumped into the back end of Crazy Domain. So this is what it would look like after you'd gone ahead and purchased your domain name and server hosting. So usually after you purchase it, it takes a couple of hours or maybe a day for it to get all certified and launched on the back end of things. But once it's ready, you'll be able to go and click through to your web hosting area, and then you should have a big orange button that says Control Panel. So once you're in your hosting manager, you'll be able to scroll down and select the software area and get into your Installatron applications. So in here, you can see that I've already got WordPress installed, but in our applications browser, we can go in and we can see usually there is an option here, there it is, to put WordPress on your back end. And you can go in here and it's pretty much a one-click WordPress install. And once you've got that installed, you can then go and visit your website, set up the admin and password, and get started with building it out. In this area as well, you also have the option to set up emails. So usually you can set up a fair number of emails, which means that you'll be able to have hello@stefsblog.com as an email address. Okay, so once you've logged into your WordPress website, your back end and your dashboard will look a little bit like this. So straight away, when you get started with building your own website, the first thing you want to do is you want to go down to your appearance and you want to pick out a really cool theme for your website. So one of the great things about WordPress is that it's so widely used by the community. So you can find lots and lots of great free themes for you to tap into, and they're like a base for you to put in your own text and images and customize to how you want it to look. So I personally have a paid theme. It's about $30, and I'm using City Logic here for my slider and my front page of my website. Now this video is just to cover the basics, and there's a lot more nitty-gritty in terms of how to set up your own WordPress website, but they right there are your basic steps for putting it together. So in summary, you've got a whole range of different options for setting up your own website. Lots of website builders that make it easy but make it more expensive for you in the long run. If you'd like to set up your own professional and cheap website and learn how to do it yourself and manage it yourself, I recommend going and buying your own domain name, setting up server hosting, and installing WordPress as your backend. Now, it's always tricky to get started and learn a new software suite like WordPress, but one of the great things about WordPress is that it's so widely used that there's already a huge, huge amount of tutorials out there. So any little problem that you have with WordPress, you can generally Google it and find a video or a blog straight away on how to fix that problem. Generally, there's also a whole range of WordPress meetups as well that you can attend in person to go and sit down with others who have websites like this and get help and a bit of a collective hive mind on your particular problem. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video on website building. In the next episode, we'll be taking a closer look at hardware prototyping. So, hope to see you in the next one. Thanks again for watching. Bye.